What's up guys, AFC Adino here, playing a ranked game against my boy Crasher. I'm gonna lead off with T-Tar as he has a rain team on his side. Crasher is actually the guy who got me into the top guild when I first started playing this game, which was the Quick-Claw, which was the Game Corner Syndicate at the time. The Game Corner Syndicate is now known as the Quick-Claw Mafia. I also used to be in that guild. But yeah, he basically gave me a chance to make a name out of myself. But yeah, he leads off with Scissor. So I'm just gonna go into Tangrove here. And looking at the U-turn damage, I can know it's a defensive Scissor. Most likely he's Defogger, looking at his team. The U-turn did about 30%, so that's definitely a defensive Scissor. Yeah, he goes into his Kingdra, and I don't think he's gonna click Surf or Hydro Pump in this situation, because he doesn't have the rain up. So I might live it, so he most likely goes for Ice Beam or Draco Meteor. So I'm gonna go into my T-Tar, because the Sandstorm is up. I should be able to take this decently well, as that's definitely specs. And I'm actually gonna click Pursuit here. I could click Stealth Rocks, but I want damage off on this thing because it's this Rain Sweeper. Now it's in range of T-Bolt from Raikou and Earthquake from Garchomp. He goes into his Politoed, and I'm gonna make an aggressive player. I'm gonna go into Scissor. Because the Starmie is kinda obvious, so as he does go for the Toxic here. And because he does go for Toxic, I know it's a defensive Politoed. So I will definitely be faster here. So I'll go for U-turn as he activates the eject button. Yeah, that's usually what they run to bring in their Kingdra for free and stuff. Since Damrock is banned and ranked. But yeah, he goes into his Dragonite. And I'm just gonna U-turn again. If he does have Fire Punch, oh yeah, Hurricane. It's obvious. Life Orb to Hurricane, so it's most likely a mixed Dragonite. But if, yeah, the reason I clicked U-turn there is because if he had Fire Punch, the damage was half because of the rain. Yeah, he turns out to be Life Orbed Hurricane and most likely a mixed attacker, because if it was fully specially offensive, then he would have most likely been specs. He can definitely run things like Earthquake and Extreme Speed. I'm just gonna go into my Raikou. And HPI should lock him out there. So he goes into his Scissor. That's fine. Let's see. Ooh, that actually... Oh, never mind. It was a crit. I am gonna go for the T-Bolt here, because if I can get damage off on this thing, that would be nice. I do get off the T-Bolt as he goes for U-turn. The reason I click T-Bolt is because it's a defensive Scissor, so his U-turn won't do too much to me. And I do have leftovers to kind of heal it off. As he goes into his Garchomp. I mean, it could be Scarf, but it's also his only stealth, potentially a potential stealth rocker on the team. So I'm gonna go into Starmie. As he does go for Stealth Rocks. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna Scald, because anything that can't switch into Scald, I can Rapid Spin on. And the other members don't like to switch into Scald. He actually decides to stay in. I do not get the burn, unfortunately, but he does go for the Outrage. I honestly don't mind the Stealth Rocks that much. So what I'd rather do is going for Scald here. Like, this Scald will put him in range of Earthquake from my Garchomp as well. And it also puts him in range of HPIs from my Tangrove. Now, knowing that he's not Scarfed because he used Stealth Rock into Outrage, I can click HPIs here. And he has to switch out here. Actually decides to go into his Politoed to summon the rain. And what I actually want to do here is I want to click Volt Switch. Because if I kill something with T-Bolt, then he can bring in his Kingdra, and I don't switch into Kingdra. At least by Volt Switching. Yeah, he sacks Scissor. Like, if I killed Scissor here with T-Bolt, he could have brought in his Kingdra, and then I would have been in a bad position. Because now I Volt Switch, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go Tyranitar, because this forces his Politoed to come out. Because he cannot go into Kingdra in this situation. He can also not really go into Garchomp because I have the Tangrowth in the back. And he cannot... I guess he could go into his Dragonite only if he has Earthquake. So the only two possibilities are Azumarill and Politoed. Politoed is most likely, but Azumarill is definitely not bad, since I don't really switch well into a Play Rough, because he has Stealth Rocks up and Sandstorm is up, so I think my Tangrowth will get 2-hit KO'd. Yeah, he does go into Azumarill. I'll just go into Tangrowth still, because after the Rocky Helmet and Sandstorm Chip, he will be in range of the Earthquake from my Garchomp. Yeah. And now we're gonna sack Scissor. If I had Stealth Rocks up, I would have sacked Scissor first. Because if I forced it out, he would have been in range. Like, then he would have taken Stealth Rocks damage 2 times. But because I don't have Stealth Rocks up, I think I have to do this first. Because he's definitely banded looking at the damage. So I'm gonna sack Scissor. Scissor is useless anyway, my Rapid Spinner is gone and he has Stealth Rocks up. So we're sacking Scissor now. As he does go for Play Rough. And he took another Sandstorm hit. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go into Raikou and claim a kill. Because he can predict my HP. He can predict my T-Bolt with Garchomp, but then something is just gonna die to HPIs. And if I could have also gone into Garchomp, but if I went Garchomp here, I would have actually given him room to outplay me with his Dragonite. By going into Raikou, he cannot really outplay me. I will just guarantee a kill. You basically don't want to give your opponent the opportunity to outplay you, if you don't have to. Yeah, we kill his Politoed, so his range setter is gone. This does give him a free switch into his Kingdra. But because his Politoed is gone, I think sacking my Tyranitar is fine here. Then I'll remove his Rain, and then Garchomp and Raikou will be faster than his Kingdra. I go Raikou now. I cannot really utilize Garchomp because he has the combination of a Flying type and a Fairy type, and my only 2 moves are Earthquake, Fire Blast, and Outrage. And that combination can kind of outplay him, but he cannot outplay my Raikou. Every time my Raikou comes in, he basically claims the kill. But he predicts my T-Bolt going into Dragonite. Dragonite will most likely live. But him making this play kind of tells me it does have extreme speed, especially because it's Life Orbed. So I can definitely expect a mixed set on his Dragonite. Like Hurricane, Draco Meteor, Extreme Speed Earthquake. It's a pretty good combination. Maybe he has Surf somewhere. So I'm gonna predict his Extreme Speed going to Tangrowth and knock him out with the Rocky Helmet. Does go for Extreme Speed, so I knock him out. In hindsight, I should have probably Rapid Spinned with my Starmie. Because then I could have utilized my Tangrowth much better. Like, the Stealth Rocks Stealth Rocks allows him to kind of beat my Tangrowth down, because he gets 2-hit KO'd by the Play Rough from Azumarill. Like, I would have been at 50% if Stealth Rocks weren't up. Yeah, he goes into his Kingdra here. I think I have to sack this. Like, if Stealth Rocks wasn't up, I would have sacked Garchomp here. Yeah, he goes for Ice Beam. And now, let's see how I can play this. If I go Garchomp here, I knock something out. But then it would come down to a speed tie with his guard jump, and if I lose that, I will lose. Go Raikou here. I go Raikou here, he will go into a Azumarill and have to click Aqua Jet. So I'm gonna go into Raikou. Okay, and something will die on his team. Unless he makes a crazy play, like going into Guard Jump, predicting my electric attack, going into Azumarill, predicting my HP Ice, and then go for Aqua Jet. If he does make that play, then he's a true god. But making those kind of plays in a late game situation, I don't know, man. Like, this is late game, so every move is decisive. Okay, he sacks his Kingdra, so Azumarill will come out here. The unfortunate part is, I could go into guard. Like, he's definitely gonna click Aqua Jets. I could go into Guard Jump, but he knows he watches my video, so he knows my set. So I'm just gonna sack Raikou and then let it come down to speed tie. But I could have gone into Guard Jump, taken the Aqua Jet damage, but I'm life orbed, and the life, like if he sacked Guard Jump. Wait, let me explain later. I click Earthquake here and knock Azumarill out. Then it still comes down to speed tie because his Guard Jump is not scarfed. But what I meant to say was, instead of sacking Raikou there, I could have gone Guard Jump, take the Aqua Jet, Earthquake. Like, I would have lived 2 Aqua Jets, but he knows I'm life orbed. He knows I'm life orbed, so he could have sacked his own Guard Jump, but put me into the second Aqua Jet range. But looking at the damage, 40, and the previous one was 35, I believe. I think I should have just made that play, then it wouldn't have come down to the speed tie. But yeah, it comes down to a speed tie right now, guys. If I win the speed tie, I knock him out. If he wins the speed tie, he knocks me out. That really comes down to a speed tie, as he wins the speed tie and I go down. So really close game, really coming down to a speed tie. But yeah, I should have really switched into his Guard Jump, predicting his Aqua Jet instead of letting my Raikou die there. Then I could have pressed Earthquake, and looking at the damage he did, I would have lived the second Aqua Jet even if he sacked his own Guard Jump on my Earthquake and after my Life Orb damage. But yeah, GG. That's what happens when you are too lazy to use a calculator, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below. Peace out, guys.